Okay, so now that we've unpacked the term customer development, and more specifically customer within that equation, we've kind of identified that a customer can be a user, a payer, or an influencer, or somewhere on that sliding scale. Let's really get a little bit more granular. Why is it so important to identify and to attach these terms to the people that we want to go out and help within the marketplace, within our economy and our society? So here is what we would call a customer persona or a customer archetype. And these are interchangeable terms. Many of you may have already learned about point of view statements from the end user. These are all talking about the same thing. So again, we don't want to take away that customer tag that we're applying, because that implies that you're creating something of value. And if you create a product or service of value, then there's no shame in somebody wanting to pay for it, whether that be the end user if they're able to, or if not, some other organization that finds value in assisting that group of people. So now what we want to do is get very, very specific. So it's a tendency of you and I, innovators writ large, and many times early stage engineers, to paint a very broad picture of who these people are. And that's actually the wrong approach. That's synonymous with product development. And it's this idea of if we build it, they will come. And we want to flip that around. We want to develop a very specific customer archetype so that we can build the exactly correct feature set for that very specific type of person. And once we've validated the interplay between that very specific person and the feature set that we're building for them in the lab, that's what we have problem solution fit. And then as we expand this out, as you continue your education and trial and error out in the real world, product market fit. So what we want to do is identify literally a very specific person. And I would encourage you for this, as you practice this, not to be yourself, but think of somebody that you can profile with their name, if they work, their position, their title, if they don't work, where they go to school, how old they are, what their gender is, what roles they play in terms of their work, obviously, but also hobbies and other things. If they find value in whatever you're building for them, how much might they have in their back pocket to spend on it? And what their motivations are to solve for X. So a lot of this is going to be directly tied to the problem statement that you or this related customer archetype might have. And so if you're building something that it turns out that your archetype isn't in a position to pay for, it's like a free app, we also have to develop a profile for somebody that would want to pay for it. So very specific advertising person at an organization that might be wanting to talk to this particular archetype that's the user persona. So if you're dealing with a user and or a payer in this customer realm, we're going to challenge you to create a profile for each one of those people. And this is where it gets tricky. I don't want you to talk in generalities. I want you to introduce me to an actual person. So this is Jessica. This is a team of students that I worked with just a couple of semesters ago. And they were wanting to innovate within the funeral industry. And they were talking about all these different people that, families that had to buy funeral services and, all these people that work at funeral homes. And the challenge is, no, for this archetype, I need to meet Jessica. And she is a real person. She works in a real office. This is your archetype. Okay, so I want you to go and actually show me a photo and tell me a lot about Jessica, as much as you can, and more specifically, link that back with the pain point that she has within the realm that you're trying to help her solve. Or if it's a realm that you're really passionate about, introduce me to somebody that you know very well, or you just met perhaps recently, that shares the pain or the challenge or has recognized the same opportunity that you want to innovate in. So let's do it.